either he is not able to play or they decided against using him in, you know, in the games. I don't know. They didn't play too many games with him. But it's Felix and they know each other. Crystal has been a long-term team member with Felix. And he's back with his old teammate. Kerrigan going for the information on the terrorist side, capturing middle without anyone helping him. And he just snuck through the lines and now he tries to take control of CPL. He's not quite able to do it now, but Tapson goes down after all. David P is already down to 12, but Tazine puts down his foot. Says, okay, I'm cramped in a corner, but maybe I can get a frag. Doesn't get more than that. It's a 4v2 already. Felix and Crystal on the rotation. One is coming in from the back, and one is crammed into CT spawn. It is going to be almost impossible for Crystal to clutch this round away from question mark. The Danes are holding the A-bomb side together, and they only suffer one casualty. In the pistol round, that's already huge for them. 3 kills for Dupree. And Kerrigan, the key player to open up the round and get this push going onto the A-bomb side. Yeah, I know about the delay with the camera and stuff like that. When I talk on camera, it's delayed because my video gets processed differently to the sound. And that's why my lips are not synced. In fact, I use a puppet. And it's not me talking. I mean, I am talking, but the puppet is just, you know, handled by me. It's not a real human being. It's just my small little guy that I try to put on front. Device almost shot his teammate there. And David P managed to, wow, finish the deal. There is Crystal with a good shot onto Sipix. 3v2 now. David P and Crystal still have good positions. Then they cover each other very, very well. David P with a second frag, making it a 1v1 now. Device plants the bomb, has the AK, and briefly touches the trigger to get the kill. But a very close round, and Penta is showing us what they are made of already. Made of some resistance at the moment. So Penta with the full save, obviously after that forced by question mark, should have an easy time getting this round. That's also why they have an MP7 and a Mac 10 with them. Yeah, and while I was reading the chat, the CT suffered the first 2 casualties. Another one goes down. Not too many frags for the SMGs. Zipix gets another one, so the investment was still paying off a little bit. 3-0 now in favor of TQM. Let's get into the thicker things of the game. The first rifle round ahead of us. Penta needs to get at least close to winning it to keep their spirits alive. And you know, obviously they would like to win the round. Crystal is a strong AWP. I don't know if he's as strong as Device or KGB or Kerrigan, depending on whoever takes the AWP on TQM. They don't really care too much about a fixed AWPer. It depends on the map and the position they want to have it. And in the end, it's Crystal is the fixed AWPer for Penta, and he's doing a good job usually. David P is doing a good job as well. The Belgian player opening up this very important round for Penta. They are on the CT side. They need to win the rounds. TQM, they can stroll around, you know, they can mess up a few times. Doesn't matter, especially with the pistol in the bag. The Danes don't need to worry too much about their scoreline on the terrorist side. If they get to 5, it's good. If they get to 6, it's perfect. Everything above 6 is more than that. Would make them feel so much better. David P goes down to Zipix now. The A-bomb site has been compromised. The terrorists are pushing in there together, and they are taking their timing and the team play and all the experience they have into their own account. And they use it into their own advantage. Question mark will win it and make it 4-0. So a straightforward round. After a small upset that David P got the first frag, the terrorists just had the perfect timing from balcony and from main. The flash into CT spawn was timed perfectly, so even the terrorist that came from balcony was slightly blinded. But obviously he spotted his target before that and knew exactly where to shoot, so TQM with a sturdy first weapon round. Penta on the save, a few deagles, a few P250s, but nothing that could really make Zane's life way harder. It's just, you know, it's tickling a little bit on the armor. I don't think that bullets in the chest are tickling when you've got a Kevlar, but you know what I mean. 5-0 in favor of question mark on the terrorist side. A full buy by Penta, obviously. Let's see who is most responsible for that almost flawless experience at the moment. We've got 9 kills for Dupree, 6 for Device. The double D has been so dangerous throughout the whole previous year. And if they get off to a good start, I think TQM obviously is one of the teams and contestants for the #1 spot. David P is once again opening up the round for the CTs, but the terrorists are close to A. They're coming in from connector. They have one guy in window who gets taken out by Crystal. Taps in with the frag onto Dupree. This looks promising for the CTs, but they have 2 players on low HP. Tazin joins his teammates' ranks on lower than 60. And Crystal with a frag, making it very, very hard for Kerrigan. He's alone. He's already flanked by the CTs. He needs to find a few kills. Patient tapping by him. Going down to Tazin after all. And team question mark lose the first round. Penta's on the board, and it was about time that they are getting themselves on track. Felix is not really on track yet. He's got 0 frags so far. I never said Davy, by the way. I said David P to the guy in Penta, by the way, to everyone that thought that I would call Device Devi. Completely nonsense. Dupree with a double kill to open it up, and you know, usually when those experienced and high-skilled teams lose a round against an underdog, they are quick to reply and they are quick to retaliate. Now it's Crystal that is quicker on the trigger than Dupree was, but Cajun B with another refrag, and Device gets picked off by Tapson. The terrorists are not losing control at all. Even though they lost 2 team members, they are still sticking together, and they have captured the right amount of space for them to plant the bomb anyway. So even if Crystal would have been somewhere close, a refrag would have been almost inevitable for them. Question mark covering the bomb. They already have a rough idea where Crystal could come from, and together they will dispose of him. One covers the other with a smoke, and the AK takes him down. Well, Ultras, I will be on the LAN finals, but only in a small position, I think. My part is mostly the online part, but we will see what the future holds in that. I have a few co-casters in store for you. Sadly, they are not available for today. Tazin is quite quick on that deagle shot. Good job by him on Kerrigan. Making it a 4v3 though is Cajun B. Didn't let Tazin get back into a good position anymore. And team question mark will capitalize on those early frags on the B bomb side. There is not much that can keep them from capitalizing on those first frags. Maybe Caps and Steel can do the job. Double kill for him. Almost took out Dupree. And Device would have been so far away from the B bomb side. Would have been very hard for him to get back on track. Penta just barely missing a crucial momentum shifting round. Just like I mentioned, they are the momentum based team over here. And if Tapson would have gotten that clutch, probably would have sparked some kind of small comeback for Penta. But at the moment it's 7-1, and the Danes are doing a good job of holding on to the control they gained at the start of the match. Zipix with a double kill onto Tapson and David P. Crystal, Felix and Tazin trying to work together. One is pushing in from B short, and the Deagles in Penta's hands are very dangerous. They are known throughout the German scene for a strong Deagle play, but well, if you run into the barrel of an AK, it's not going to help you too much. Felix is left alone with only 14 HP against the 4 terrorists, so his only chance, or his only objective, is to get a frag. Sadly for him, he exposed himself too early to device, and Team Question Mark pull away 8-1. 12 kills for Dupree, 10 for Zipix, and on the other side we have still 0 frags for Felix. Wait, Fry Mistark wasn't Go Lounge against Optic like San Marino versus Gibraltar. Just kidding. You know, an ace, yes. Just kidding. Penta with the orb on Tazin. So they're switching it up. Didn't give it to Crystal. Maybe he can change it back for Crystal though. Sometimes Penta goes for that play when Crystal starts off with a rifle and then the orb wielding player changes guns with him. Doesn't look like it will happen anytime soon. David P and Tapson already taken out of the occasion by Zipix in A main. And the terrorists have free reign. Wherever they want to go, they can go there. Look at Dupree just going for the back lines on the CT spawn, intercepting the rotation if there would come any rotation. The CTs are still completely out of control of this map. They don't have any information. The only thing they can hope for is maybe, like Tazin, getting some lucky shots off onto unsuspecting players. Kerrigan is the one picking off an unsuspecting Felix. And Tazin and Crystal with a huge task of retaking against 4 terrorists. Tazin actually goes for it? No, now he's backing away again, and obviously he got covered by device. Crystal inching forward with the M4 A1, but A4 obviously, but there is not much that he can do about the outcome of the round anymore, so his own and his sole purpose is to save the gun for the next round. Kerrigan will be the guy to prevent that from happening. Maybe. No, Kerrigan will not prevent that from happening. 2 HP. Crystal picks him off with ease, and he should be able to hold on to the gun. But you know that something is looking very bad if a caster focuses on how important it is to save a single gun for a team. And if you look at the scoreboard, it says 9-1 on the terrorist side on Mirage. Penta doesn't seem to have that good of a time today. But at least they qualified for the EU minor, so that is working for them. Maybe they can put in some more time and, you know, just tweak their strategies a little bit, get some more fluency in there, and work on their CT play on Mirage. Tazin and Felix obviously not going to do too much about it. TQM make it 10-1. And there is not much. No, Mirage is actually TQM's map pick. Cash is the second one. Sorry for... it seems like I offended you, Maragos. Didn't mean to, obviously. And yes, I'm not a TV show. I'm sorry for that. Completely. Felix under huge pressure on the B bomb side. He will pick off Dupree, so that is something that could work for him. He picks up a second one. So it wasn't his skill that kept him from killing, but rather his position and the way that Question Mark pushed his side. Tapson will finish the deal on Sipix, making it the second round for Penta. Let's all get fired up and pumped up, and let's cheer them on to get maybe a close game, which I don't really think is going to happen. But Felix got 2 frags. You know, all the 9 frags that Crystal got only resulted in 1 round. And now Felix gets 2 kills and instantly they have another round. So his frags had the most impact. Theoretically. We are still waiting for Penta to get a grip on their positions. They are just rotating heavily and randomly. KGB is there in kitchen. He's waiting for Tazin. Easy frag for him. The terrorists are not in full control of the B-bomb. So there is another one creeping in from behind. It was David P, but he gets covered by Device. Heads up play by Team Question Mark. They have everything under control. Tapson goes down as well. Crystal is alone on the A-bomb side. No joy for him. All he can do is save his gun. Again, we are in a lengthy save situation. I wonder why they even planted the bomb. They could have, yeah, I know. Obviously, they want to plant the bomb to be sure to win the round, but at this point in a game, I wouldn't blame the favorite if they would not take it as seriously as other games. Crystal is putting up a good fight, though. Trying to exit with the gun. He's actually picking the fight against Device now. He's on 13 HP, but wallbangs him. So the AWP is not going to be saved by Crystal, even though he showed what he could be capable of if he had the chance to. The Danes are not letting the Germans get the chance to. So it's 11-2 on the terrorist side. I don't know how far Penta can pull it back on the second half. They potentially need the 2 last rounds here in this half. Otherwise, I really can't see them do anything on the second half. Tazin and Dupree will exchange blows in A apartments, and now it's the CTs falling apart again. They don't have any armor. They only have Deagles on 2 players. They had an MP7, but that's all they could afford. Device is using his P250, maybe a little bit too cocky. Well, not really cocky. He had to use a pistol because he has an AWP. But yeah, he makes up for that with a good shot into middle onto Crystal. 12-2 for Question Mark. This is a game that's so unstructured at the moment. Team Question Mark is playing the default. They're getting frags, and then they work on top of those frags. They didn't have to execute anything real. Look at that. That's an execution, but not an execution like you would, you know, with a timing or something. They just randomly smoke off stuff and run into the side, picking off people left and right, and everything works out in their favor. This time around, it's getting a little harder. 4v4 evolves. Tazin only has a scout. He has to get a few good tags here. Kerrigan having trouble getting that frag onto Tazin, and Felix steps in, takes the bullet, and Tazin takes the frag. It's a 3v3 now, with KGB with 4 HP and Zipix on 27. This is definitely possible, but David P received 99 damage, and he needs to watch out to not expose himself to any damage. And that definitely did not end up killing him, but Device picked off one of his teammates, and the CT is desperate to get the defuse through. Device with the AK now switching that up and getting the 2v1 on the board for Question Mark. 13-2 in the favor of the Danish squad. No real surprises, but I'm a little sad that Penta didn't put up more resistance than they did, because I consider them to be a team that, like, well, it's kind of hard to compare them to anyone, because they are definitely not really in the level that Team Question Mark is, obviously, but I would say they have upset potential a little less compared to teams like Go Lounge, for example, or Vexed, or Mousesports, or Hellraisers. Teams like those. And they have less upset potential than those teams, but they still have it, as I already pointed out when the game started. I think that, or I thought that Penta, if they get the momentum, could cause some trouble on one map on TQM. But the team kill by Felix is not going to help his score or his team score. TQM with a sturdy A defense, everything settled. And the default positions, you know, one is close to the balcony, one is covering the balcony area from stairs, and everything is falling apart for the terrorists. As soon as they try to come through, they get caught in a crossfire, and nobody's able to step to the bomb site or closer to the bomb site. Question mark with a 14-2 now. Penta didn't plant the bomb in the pistol, so they force it up. They go for deagles and armor. They're trying to do some damage, but they do damage to each other, and that's really not working out in their favor. They push forward, and Crystal finally gets that kill onto Carrigan. Device goes down too. This could turn south for question mark. They only have SMGs left in their hands, and their opponents have deagles. And especially in those long ranges, that can turn out to be a little bad for them. Tazeen shooting in the toes of Dupree, just making him fall down. Well, Dupree obviously decided to step down, but Tazeen just used that opportunity to put a bullet to his head. Cajun B picked up the FAMAS, and now he's trying to use that rifle to put up some resistance on the A bomb site. Zipix is rushing to his health and help, but Cajun B has no health left. It is Zipix who cleans up middle, but the terrorists have planted the bomb. Now they're all down to low HP, less than 25 on every single terrorist. Zipix just needs to find them one by one, and it would be easy, but they have good positions to cover each other. Maybe they can kill each other. Another one bullet. It's not going to happen. Zipix is rushing in there. David P goes down, but then it's Felix stepping it up, and Penta managed to pull the second round upset in the second half. A team knife onto Zipix. That's a good start into the round, isn't it? The CTs lose players in the A bomb side. Kerrigan putting up a double kill with the headshots. Tazeen and Crystal suddenly find themselves down a man, but they started up a man. I mean, that is a huge change in just a brief moment when Kerrigan spotted two of the terrorists with their heads popping out. Zipix is still there with a scout in CT spawn, and the scout and deagle combination is so scary. If one of them gets the tags and the other one finishes the job with the pistol, it makes it so hard for the terrorists to adjust for that. Tazeen is just on top of the barrels. Unexpected angle, gets a kill onto Dupree. In the meantime, Crystal cleaned out CT spawn, and Tazeen covers his teammate while he was trying to plant the bomb. So Penta will string those rounds together, despite the very bad middle part where Kerrigan suddenly picked up 2 frags. I expected TQM to be able to let Penta walk into the crossfire and then kill them off. But Penta show that they are not necessarily noobs. They know how to play too, and the terrorist side is usually a side that you can show your individual skill and also some more of your improvised team play, if you know what I mean, with sudden situations that evolve and that nobody really can prepare for. The CT is prepared for the save, and Penta is taking it slow. They are not the kind of wolf pack sticking together anti-eco at the moment, but they are more of a let's see where the CTs go, if they go for information, if they go for some aggressive play. And as soon as that happens, Penta will pick up the first frag, and then they can split the CTs up just like they do now. They can get themselves a few more frags. Here is another one by Crystal. So methodical play by Penta, but question mark don't need to be scared or worried at all. They are still up, and if you consider this round to be a round for Penta, they would still be up 14-5 even if they lost, or even, yeah, if they don't do anything in this round anymore. 97% is not good odds. It depends on how you look at it. From a thrower's perspective, I mean, I don't want to burn anyone, but Base and Steel are going to start salivating if they see odds like that and play in the team. But Question Mark is not eager to throw this. It is the first game in Group B, so they want to win that and get to the upper bracket of the group stage. CPs do a good job of winning, or at least looking like they could win this first rifle round in the second half. David P has a few other ideas, though. He's smoking off kitchen and pushing through the smoke. One of the oldest tricks in the books. He's even moving up to Kerrigan and knifing him. Oh, cheeky, cheeky little David P. Can you win the round now? That's the huge question. He's got 1 minute to work with. Cajun B is already on the rotation to B, and David B is getting back onto that site. Oh, it's not looking good for David P. Cajun has him covered, and TQM make it 15-5. But what a good attempt at that 1v2 situation. Didn't work out as well as David P imagined, but still. Was a good idea. 24 frags for Device, 18 for Zipix. On the other side, Crystal with 19 and 13 on Tazine. Penta with the last effort. 10 rounds to win in a row on the terrorist side of Mirage. There are only a few tasks that are harder than accomplishing that. Especially against the Danish team. A nation that is notoriously well known for being strong on CT sides, and TQM is not an exception to that. The bomb is over at the B apartments with Crystal looking into window, and the rest of the Penta squad bunched up at A main. TQM is not going for any information. They are confident in their ability to hold on to the sites in case they get pushed. And especially with the Deagle wielding Tapson, this should be a little easier for TQM, but you never know. Tapson with a Deagle is like Crystal with an AWP. He's just as dangerous. No offense to Crystal, obviously, but you know what I mean. Dupree and Device will open up the round, and now Tapson runs into the crossfire. Tezin with the last effort to plant the bomb. He's not succeeding that either. Kerrigan is still in the B-bomb side. The CT's on the rotation already. Chris is showing his aim off for a brief moment. Just not getting the frag onto Kerrigan. Finally gets it, but Device with a refrag. 16-5 on the map pick of DQ.